Self-quarantining.
And a quarantine order.
Quarantined in their...
Held in quarantine.
Quarantine.
The quarantine in place.
Quarantine for the required 14 days.
Hey, what's up, people? This is your friendly neighborhood Negro, JC, and welcome back to another episode of Quarantine Talks. Today I have on my show my homegirl, Kiaris, aka KJ. She's a digital marketing strategist based in NYC who has worked with such social media powerhouses like The Budgetnista, and most recently she's worked for one of my favorite concert experiences out there, Afropunk. We discuss what it's like working for the blackest concert in the world. Y'all, it's black as fuck. Her favorite work experiences and what life is like right now as a live events professional after COVID. Then we talk about living in NYC, peak Corona, both of her. Then we talk about living in NYC, peak Corona, both of her parents actually contracting COVID, and sharpening her DIY skills and learning guitar all during quarantine. Then we close out discussing hopes for the future and how giving toilet paper, Lysol, and other essential products is the new way during the new normal to say, I love you. Like, I love you, babe. Here's 2-ply. Y'all, this was a fun conversation, man. We're about to get into it. Lego. But I'm like, I want to do something. Like, I'm just tired of being in here. So it's like, yeah. Other than that, I mean, like, I've been keeping busy with like the podcast and everything, and just like being creative in that aspect. Because I was definitely trying to figure out what I could do to still content create. Because a lot of my stuff is like based on location and people. And so now that I don't have the location, how can I still maybe get the people or still maybe, kind of like work something out? So the podcast has been cool, actually. It's been real cool. I've been able to talk to a bunch of people that I probably wouldn't be able to have talked to normally. So that's dope. It is. That's been kind of a give and take kind of thing,
Most people aren't even that productive in this time, so pat yourself on the back.
I be feeling like people are, though. I be feeling like maybe, is it just creative people? Like, what is it? What do you...
I've been watching like a lot of like lives where creatives are talking to other creatives about it, and I think the census is mixed. Some people are like, yes, this is like my most creative time I've ever had. And some people are like, nah. Like, I'm uninspired. I am going half crazy. Like, I need to have experiences in order to feel creative, to be creative. Yeah. So I think it's a 50-50 split. I know some days I've had those sparks. Some days I don't. Like, I've been teaching myself guitar. So I guess... like, that's like little creative spark, but outside of that, not really. Okay.
I mean, like, and me, it's funny. It's like me and my homegirl was talking about this. So she is an actress and a singer, and so she, we were talking about it. She was like, "It's weird for me because this is the time when I normally wouldn't be working, but I would be looking for work to go into the next season." So she's like, it's weird because it's kind of what it's supposed to be, but it isn't. And she's like, I want to kind of like write and I want to kind of like sing and do different things. But she's like, I just been uninspired, because she's like, it's a lot to like, it's a lot, and she's like, luckily for me, like I've saved up some money. I have a little bit of savings, my boyfriend, my mom, those things. But she was like, it's a little challenging for me because I'm still thinking about like real life, everyday stuff and trying to be creative at the same time. And like, I definitely get that because I remember when I was a starving artist, I went with that shit. That shit was whack. I didn't want
It still is. It still is. That's not one of those things that come in and out of style.
Nah.
It's not in style.
Nah, that shit is trash. Like, so definitely.
Yeah, but that's real because, I mean, this is a pandemic. I saw this tweet that said this is not a self-care retreat. You know, like people are going through an actual crisis, a real crisis. Like my parents both having COVID could have went traumatically wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
No doubt.
And that wouldn't have been a time for me to like teach myself guitar or like the little DIY projects that I have been doing. Like, no, my life would have been ruined, you know? So I think it's important for people to understand and be okay with the fact that you may not be being the most productive you could be. Who cares? Like, the world is literally on pause. You know?
Like, yeah, half the world, like 25% of the world was burning, like, 3 months ago. Australia was on fire. Like he did.
This is the sign that 2020 is not the year to like be making moves. It's the time to chill, rest, reset, restore yourself. Like it's okay.
Like universally, it was like just pause, like just chill. Like you know what I'm saying. And just talking about that. Like I did. Like last week was rough for me because like I film. Or I record everything because it's audio. So like I record everything like a good 3 or 4 days in advance. So like including you, there may be about 8 or 9 people that I need to get out rearranged within the next 2 weeks. And so like my schedule was thrown off because I had been staying up late. Excuse me. I had been staying up late and watching TV and just bullshit. And so like when it came down to like doing work, I'm like, fuck, I'm waking up late. I don't really, and then my roommate, he's essential. I'm essential too, but I took a furlough. But he's essential, so he has to go to work every day. And so like when he gets off, he's like, yo, let's play the game, nigga. Like, because we both ain't seen nobody else in like a very long time. So, it's like, so it's like, okay. And I'm losing time and I'm like, I can't do this and I can't do that. And I was like, yo, chill the fuck out. Like, it doesn't matter.
If anything, this is the time where it's just like, okay, well, I didn't feel like it and it didn't get done, and that's okay.
Right.
I was talking to like one of my play aunties, and she has this business. And she's like my mom's friend, so I call her my auntie, but she's not that much older than me. So we talk about like regular stuff like I would talk to anybody else, and she has a business, and she was saying how she was so overwhelmed because she just hasn't been as productive as she feels like she should be. And I was just telling her like, but who's telling you that she should be productive? It's okay. Like, are you still getting work done? Is your business still making a profit? Which right now most people's businesses aren't. If all of that is still moving the way that you want it to, you're fine. Like you're putting in unrealistic expectation on yourself that you don't have to.
Like the world isn't gonna end because you didn't like upload like the data sheet for week 5. Like it's cool. Like the world will end for other reasons, but not because you didn't do that.
Right. It'll end because the damn Rona running rampant. But the fact that you didn't, that you just watch TV all day, it's not going to end because of that. Which I think is a lesson that we'll all learn coming out of this. Like a lot of things that we thought were super serious aren't that serious. The world is still turning without a lot of things.
That's been the most like surprising part of all this. I was like, yo, this is not what like worldwide pandemics look like in the movies, right? It's like dark and it's gray and like it's dead bodies in the street. I'm looking outside right now. It's
here in New York, it's a little bit like that, but
facts. But facts.
There were definitely like 2 homeless people found dead in the park a couple of days ago.
Oh man.
But yeah, I feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
There are other days when the sun is out and it's like, we should go outside. And it's like, oh. Okay.
Maybe we should. Oh man. Okay. And so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Quarantine Talks. This is me, JC, and today I got with me my homegirl KJ.
Hey.
Hi KJ. How you doing?
What's up? I'm good. I'm surviving, almost thriving in the quarantine world.
In the quarantine world. And so before we begin anything, I just have to ask, like, And I know other people might have been wondering, like the person I'm talking to, what the hell does KJ stand for?
So my first name is Kiaris, which is actually a combination of my parents' names. My mom's name is Kiwani. My dad's name is Travis. So they chopped those up and put them together, and they got Kiaris. And then my middle name is Jamie. And for some people, some odd reason, people have a hard time pronouncing my first name. So I just started going by KJ, like in high school. And I was just like, yeah, you can just call me KJ.
Okay. Oh, that's dope. Okay. Because I was like, wait, but your last name Wade. So, like, where is that, like, coming from? But then, you know what?
Yeah, I have 5 names. My full name is super long.
Are you Spanish?
No, I just, like, I don't know. So, like, my dad had an issue with his last names, and then he corrected that. And then I ended up having an issue with my last names, and then they corrected it. My mom was like, no, she's also keeping my last name. So then it just turned, and then I have 2 middle names. It's
okay.
a long.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So you like honorary Puerto Rican? That's what's popular.
I guess.
Yo, my uncle
Shout out.
My uncle has like 5 names too, so don't feel bad. It is because my grandmother wanted to be creative, and my grandfather was a stubborn motherfucker, and so literally that's how it worked. It was like, oh, well, I want to name him this and this, and he was like, well, I want to name him this and this, and so now he has like 4 or 5 names. It's like it's crazy. So okay, now that we got that out the way, so like we talked about who you are, where are you from, and what do you do?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
Ground zero currently of coronavirus.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy out here. It's getting better, but it's a little wild. But yeah, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised here. I lived in Atlanta for a little bit. I came back after college to work, which is how I ended up in the marketing field. My degree is in marketing business administration. I started out in like finance-ish. I started out working for like a financial advisor who's also an influencer, which is pretty cool. Still in that marketing content creation realm. And then I ended up getting a job with Afropunk, which is how we met. And that like opened me up to a whole new world of like the live events industry, which unfortunately is probably dead. But live events, entertainment, music. And I just kind of fell in love with that. I made so many connections in the like year or like 10-month span that I worked for Afropunk. And I do pretty much anything that has anything to do with marketing, social media content, partnerships, branded content, marketing strategy. Email marketing is a specialty of mine that I'm really passionate about. Yeah, pretty much all of that.
How does one work at your level at Afropunk? Like, was it like you just filled out a resume? It was a job posting that, you walked up?
No, I actually knew someone who worked there. And I found out that they were looking to grow their marketing department. So I submitted my resume. I actually didn't get that position. I ended up working under the person that got that position, which was fine because I ended up, anyway, that was fine. But they had my resume, so they called me back for another position, and I took that one. And it just took off from there. As people left, I got promoted, not traditionally, but kind of took on that workload, which helped my resume tremendously. It also just gave me a bunch of skills that now I can sell. In times like this, I can sell those skills and, keep myself afloat.
Right. I feel bad too, because like I was working with a young lady. Shout out to Bree. And
Bree from Afropunk?
No, not Bree.
Oh,
I don't think she was Afropunk.
There was a Bree that worked at Afropunk too.
She lived here. I don't think she worked for Afropunk.
Oh, no, probably not.
She was working for Stacey Abrams. Can I talk about that? Yeah.
Oh.
No, because it's already done. Yeah, she was just doing a lot of work for Stacey Abrams.
Cool.
Yeah, but I was working with her kind of like on the social media tip for like the OVT network. Yeah, Corona made that go away. I was like, look, I'm so sorry, but I really am. I want to pay you, but the way these bills are set up and I ain't working for the next couple months. Like, yo, I feel so bad.
Corona has messed up so many things. My birthday is next week. I'm turning 25. I had like this huge trip planned, and that's like non-existent.
Yeah.
It's messed up so many things.
I was supposed to be in Brazil this month.
Yeah, like so many people I know had a huge monumental 2020 planned.
Sigh.
And it's like, no, actually, you gonna be in the house.
You're going to be in the house. This is the time for you to sit your ass down on this couch, read a book, watch the TV, do something. But you ain't going to do what you thought you was going to do.
Right, at all. You're not going to do anything close to what you thought.
When's your birthday?
On Monday, May 11th.
May 11th. Okay, cool. What's that? What y'all, Leos?
Taurus.
I knew it was Leo, Aries, or Taurus. It's one of them sun signs. Like
a Leo. Yep.
That makes sense.
I'm not that into like horoscopes, astrology, like most people are. Like I don't know what my rising is. I don't know what my moon. I don't know.
I just found out about that shit last year. Like not even last year. I found out about that shit in November. Somebody pointed out to me. It was like, "Oh, you don't know what your rising is? What the fuck is that? Rising what? What time I rise in the morning?"
No. Right.
Like around 10, 11, depending on the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
I've looked it up before. Just like when I first found out about it, and I was like, "Oh, okay." It actually was pretty accurate. Like my birth chart was pretty accurate towards like my characteristics and personality. But I'm like, okay.
Mine was like 80-20. 70-30, 80-20. So like there was some stuff that was spot on and there was some stuff that was wildly in the opposite direction. I was like, that ain't it. So yeah. Anywho, getting back. So you work for Afro Punk, or you still working? Or is it furlough kind of?
No, so because of COVID and the live events industry basically probably is non-existent at this point. I was laid off. Majority of the company was laid off. I'm not sure if they've kept anyone at this point. But yeah, unfortunately, I was laid off due to just not being able to house any events. And as somebody who works in the marketing department, which is directly correlated with ticket sales, it's like, well, what am I here for?
Yeah, okay. Well, that sucks. So as someone who worked for Afro Punk, like I want to ask, what is your best experience and or concert that you think you've ever done or went to?
In general, or like through Afropunk? Or like through anything that has to do with my work, because I've been through other things.
Up to you. Pick one. This is your experience. That ain't mine.
So overall experience would probably be anytime I've seen Beyonce perform. Okay. So my first ever concert, I saw Beyonce perform. And then I saw the On the Run Tour 2, which again was amazing. So that's like overall. Through my work, I would probably say Afropunk Atlanta 2020, just because I'm an R&B person. Really? And that R&B lineup was Chef's Kiss. They have Masego, Lucky Day, Shoma Josie, who is not R&B, but just a vibe altogether. Who else did they have? Sir. Just so many good R&B people there. That was probably, that touched my heart, definitely.
So Atlanta was the R&B lineup. It was okay. I didn't go to that one. I was just like, I don't want to go to Afropunk here. I want to go to Afropunk in New York.
It's a totally different experience. Yeah. So. It's a totally different experience. Brooklyn is like just hype. Atlanta, you can find your hype, but you can also find your chill vibes also.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that was my... Yeah, that was my first one. So that
in Brooklyn?
Yeah, period. Ever. That was my first one in Brooklyn. I was like, I have to go. I was like, the only other ones I would go to would be Johannesburg or possibly Paris. And I don't like Paris like that. So I was like, it's either going to be Johannesburg or Brooklyn. So I was like, yo, OG, Afropunk, let's go. It's got to be Brooklyn.
Hopefully they can bring that back.
Everything will go back to normal. We just don't know how long.
I don't know. Do you really think so?
Yeah, I really do.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so when I say normal, I mean normal in the sense of the basics will go back to life. TV, movies will be a little different because movie theaters might not be open. Which kind of sucks because I bought some stock, but that's neither here nor there. But, movie theaters might not be open. But, like live events, I think it'll be more of a combination between live events and streaming those live events. Like, I really think that's going to pair differently now because we've seen what can happen when we have to have live events. So the infrastructure on that, out of necessity, is going to become spaced out and built up. Like, so your job is fine. Your job is you're gonna be good. Like,
I hope so.
Give it a year and a half. Like I said, for the next 2 years, I'm gonna be honest, like it's fucked. Like, it really is. Because if you look at the Spanish flu, which is the last time we had anything like this, if we look at the Spanish flu, it started in the spring of 1918 and it ended in the fall of 1919. And that was kind of you got to bear in mind, that was without mass transit, right? So nobody in 1919 could get on a plane and be anywhere else on the globe in 24 hours like we can now, right? Mm-hmm. So if we look at that and we compare it to this model and then like just the states, like half of the state, like Trump himself is dismantling the pandemic team put in place for this by Memorial Day. So we're not going to have that. And then states are opening up. Cases are rising back up. So we're going to have to shut everything down again. It's just a matter of when. So this is all setting us back. But it's going to take us, if we look at that model, we're going to be in this for another year and a half, maybe. We're going to be dealing with this. And then after that, things will go back to normal. But so, yeah, give it about 2 years. Give it about, it seems like a long time, but like 2 years.
Yeah, just go 2 years jobless.
No.
And then after that, you're fine. You'll be great.
You can play the guitar. You can become an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Go play in the subway. Put my little guitar case out there, collect some coins.
Hey, I mean, you know, viable, non-taxable income. So, I mean, like, you ain't got to claim that on unemployment.
Right. I don't know, though. I don't think things are going to go back the way we thought that they would. Mm-hmm. Very similar to when the economy crashed in 2008. You know, out of that was birthed Uber, Lyft, Airbnb, all these like gig economy jobs and companies that were created. Mm-hmm. I think out of this will be birthed even greater changes. I think, you know, live events will probably come back because that is like a level 2 essential need.
Right. It's a humanity.
We need connection. You know, music is something that unites us all. Entertainment is one of those things that have and always will be around. Mm-hmm. So I think that, you know, the geniuses of the world will figure out how to do that again. But I don't think things are going to be like they were. I was talking to a friend yesterday and we were talking about restaurants and like, how do you date after this? Like, how does me and whoever I'm dating just go to a restaurant? Like, do I have to wear a mask? Can we just walk up to the restaurant and sit down? Will we have to, things only be by reservation moving forward so you can track like who's coming in and out? I think things will go back to the way they were in a sense, but the way we go about doing things are going to change. I would love for drive-in movie theaters to open back up because of this.
We actually got one. I got one like maybe 5 miles away from my house on the east side.
Yeah, you live in Georgia, right?
Yeah,
what is
Decatur.
That? The Starlight?
I think. Yeah.
Moonlight,
something like that. Yeah.
But I would love for like things like that to become popular again.
I think that is, they were talking about that. I read an article talking about drive-in movie theaters are gonna boom. Like traditional movie theaters may die, but then drive-in movie theaters are gonna make a comeback because it kind of has to. Like if you want to go out and you want to have like this communal experience, but you know, disease. So like, how do you do that?
Corona is still killing folks.
It's like, how do you do it? Both? Yeah, how do we do both? Oh, drive-in movie theater. So it's like, yeah, I think, like you said, things are gonna go back to normal, but it'll definitely be like a new normal with these like thoughts in mind. Mm-hmm. You know, but like I said, give it 2 to 3 years. I mean, I'm thinking about that myself because I like to go places. So it's like I'm actually, well, that's gonna be on hold for the foreseeable future. Excuse me, but I was gonna start working on a documentary, and that is, the documentary requires me to go to different countries. Yeah, that's done. that's
right.
done.
Like, when will we be able to travel internationally again?
Right, when the border's gonna open
so many variables.
So it's very. If I've said it once, I said it 100 times. I never thought I would be able to be like, the world is closed and people would understand me.
Right. And it made complete sense.
Yeah. It's like,
And it's like when outside opens back up, like
Yeah.
what?
when the outside open back up, like, yeah, what? Wait, what? 2 months
If
ago,
you
you've
would have
been
said
like,
that 6
what?
months ago, somebody would have thought you were crazy. What did you say?
Not even 6 months.
How
2
does
months.
outside close?
2 months. If I would have said this to you, if we were having this conversation in February, you'd have been like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What you mean? That don't make no sense. And it's just made. It's like, oh yeah, whenever the world open back up, we'll get back to it. We can go back on that date after you get your temperature checked and possibly a vaccine.
And you get a face mask. And Purell starts shipping out hand sanitizer again.
Lysol. Oh my God. I found 2 cans of Lysol at Walmart a month ago. What?
Lysol, Clorox, toilet paper.
You can get Clorox.
Like all of those things are like gold. Like you find that and you hit the jackpot. Somebody bring you a can of Lysol. That's your soulmate. You care about me that much.
You gave your only begotten Lysol? Like you just I can't, man.
Love languages will change. Giving essential products will now be a love language. Gifting somebody a roll of toilet paper, you might as well propose at this point. Like, this is your wife, sir. You gave her a roll of toilet paper.
You put it on the toilet paper hanger thing and be like, it fit.
Right.
You thought about me? 2-ply?
It's 2-ply.
Oh my God, girl, he got me
Darling, extra soft, girl.
The quilted.
Really love you.
The quilted.
Right.
I can't. What are you looking forward to, like, next in the near future? Career-wise, life-wise, whatever.
That's interesting. Career-wise, I'm looking forward to seeing how I adapt to this, like, new world we'll be living into. I'm somebody that's pretty easily adaptable, especially in, like, the professional environment. I actually have that on my resume because I can go into that's the sellable skill. I can go into any work environment and, like, adapt to the culture like that, and not in like an opportunist or like a simulation way, but just somebody who's easygoing. Like, if this is how y'all do things here, as long as it's not ethically or morally wrong to me or just a broken system, cool. Like, I can go into it. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing like how companies will now change their cultures. How I personally adapt to those and like what ideas. I'm really good with ideas and ideology. So like what ideas I come up with due to that change. As far as life, I am excited to be able to like congregate with people again. Prior to this, I was definitely an introvert, but now I'm like, I miss people. Like, I will go to brunch now maybe twice, 2 times out of the month instead of like the one that I usually go.
The one whole extra time.
Right, a whole extra time just because of COVID. Or just to be around people again. Like, I miss going to church. I miss, like, actually commuting to work and, like, enjoying the ride and seeing the people that I see every day on my route to work. And the small things that I took. I miss my fake gym bae. Like, we had a connection even though we never spoke. And I miss seeing him 3 times a week. You know, I miss our, like, eye conversations in the gym. So I want to get back to those things. You know, I hope he's doing well. If you're listening to this by any way, you know,
hit me up.
My Instagram is at
Oh God.
You know, so that's definitely something that I miss. And just I miss people, which is something I used to take for granted, but I miss like community and coming together with people, because even like the people that I would see weekly, I can't see them anymore. My aunt, who lives 7 doors down from me, I cannot see her, and she was somebody that I used to see every day. So I definitely look forward to just being around people again, and just whatever changes come out of the world. I love when somebody comes up with a great idea that like changes the world, like Airbnb or like Uber. So I'm excited to see like what genius comes up with the next like amazing world changing idea. Yeah, and I think that's it. What about you?
What am I looking forward to? I'm still an introvert. I don't actually miss people all that much. I miss restaurants. I really miss going out to eat. Cause that's just like a thing I did. On the flip side of that, I appreciate like having to cook 5 out of 7 days of the week. And so like the things that I eat are way better now. I eat more veggies and fruits and all of this stuff. So I will say that, but like I really do miss the ability to just go somewhere and like be at Starbucks on my laptop editing something. I really miss that.
Yes.
I really, really miss that. I that's the part that I miss the most. Maybe like not necessarily people, all that stuff, because I'm adverse to people, but like I really miss that. Just being able to be around people without necessarily being inside of
interacting with them.
Yeah, like I miss that. I do get something out of that. So that's my thing. Just being able to sit down somewhere and like be.
I definitely never thought that I would be like, yeah, I miss people, but once they say you don't miss a good thing till it's gone.
Right.
And now I'm like, the people that I did care about, I'm not able to interact. The people that I would see regularly that I never really had any like solid connection with, I'm not able to interact with. But I miss those things. The things that made my life what they were are now taken away from me. So it's like, yeah, I do miss, the guy that was on a corner every day on my way to work. I miss seeing him every day. And the fact is that I don't even know if he's okay.
Right.
Which concerns me. I don't know if that person's still alive. I don't know if my fake gym babe is still alive or if he's doing well or if his biceps are still as buff as they were. I don't know.
Take a sip of that water.
Just to make light of a serious thing.
Yeah.
But, the people that used to be a part of my life, no matter how serious it was, the fact that I'm not able to interact with them or check on them or even some of them not even know how they're doing, it brings another level of care for them, and
you take it you take it for granted. Like it's just kind of like I was like I did that thing, which for the record, you probably won't see me post anything else on Instagram outside of this, like work stuff. I did that thing where you post pictures of stuff from way back when we used to be able to do stuff. I posted the time before last when I went to London and like some pictures of my friends and stuff like that. I was sad as fuck by the end of that. I was like, why did I do this? Who thought of this shit? Why was this a good idea? I was good up until I decided to go on this little Instagram journey. Like, no, fuck that shit. Now I'm mad. Like, I'm pissed off walking around the house. It's just like, fuck is wrong with you? I want to go outside. I want to go back to London. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was good. So yeah, that was
so many places I haven't been yet that I don't know if I ever get to go.
Like I said, don't say that. We're going back. Like I said, it's just gonna be everybody's life is pushed back by about 2 years now. So whatever plans you had,
wrap.
Just place that to next year because we in May now.
What plan? You got a plan? God, please.
Half the year is gone almost now, and so just cancel that. And it's nobody's fault. But I think that's the beautiful thing about it is that since we're all going through the same thing at the same time, everybody is understanding. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 5 years from now, we're going to be like, oh, what happened? Well, I was going to do this, but COVID. And so, damn. You too? Well,
that's going to be a valid explanation for things. But then Corona, and it's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, because it's going to be like, oh, it's like, where were you when Corona happened? Oh, shit. I was stuck in, wherever for so long or however long. So, I mean, like, that's the one, it's a nice little thing that binds all of humanity. That is one of those unique things that happens like once every 2 or 3 centuries. It's just like, the whole world can agree on one thing at once. and then you never know what can happen. You might need your next Jim Bay might be there whenever gym's open, and y'all could get married and have.
I don't know if I'm going back though. I don't know if I'm going back.
Hey, yo, you get your ass back in the gym now. Shit.
Well, I have a Peloton, and I brought like
you got money.
No, okay, so on my dad's credit card, a Peloton was purchased.
You got
not
money.
from my own money. And I've just purchased a bunch of stuff here, and I've actually lost like 15 pounds from the time I've been quarantined.
That's what's up.
So I weighed myself yesterday. What's today? Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
I weighed myself on Monday. And I've lost 15 pounds. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm going back to the gym to be around sweaty people who smell like dogs and don't wipe the machines down. So I don't know.
You go to a gym around white people?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why.
I live in gentrified Brooklyn. So.
Oh, yeah, good point. No offense to white folk, but y'all do have a certain smell when you get oily. It is what it is.
It's a fact. It's not an offense.
It's a fact. It is what it is. Speaking of your mom and dad, though, so they have a podcast?
They used to. They haven't recorded in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened, actually. It just kind of stopped.
Well,
but we never talked about it.
That's what I was going to say. Like, was you a guest? Like, what? How did that, like...
Yeah, I was a guest. I used to, produce it, in a sense. But it was, very new, and they had just started. I hadn't had any podcast experience. I tried starting my own, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. And then they, took a hiatus, and then, I don't know, I guess we forgot about it. Now thinking about it, that was last summer. That was almost a year ago. Mm-hmm. Maybe they should start that again. But yeah, they did have a podcast.
I saw that. I was like, oh, that's cool as shit. Your
and it was pretty good. They blew me away. I was like, y'all are good at this content thing.
I was looking like, what did they? I went to the podcast page. One of the posts was like open relationships. I said, oh, wait, oh, y'all talking about that? I was like, I don't know if I would be as a son. I don't know if I want to hear my mom and whoever she's talking to talk about anything about. I don't need to know. Yeah, that's not something that I would know. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, I'm gonna ask her about that. Like, yo, so your parents got a podcast? They really?
Well, my parents are not much older than me. They were teenage parents, so they're only 20 years older than me. So at this point in my life, a lot of their experiences are things that I've also experienced. So as long as they don't cross the line and get into too many weird details, I'm cool. But it's y'all are adults, I'm an adult. Y'all are talking about things that I've experienced, so it doesn't really faze me. But when my dad can get a little spicy sometimes, so when he crosses that line, I'm like, okay. The safe word is being called. I need you to back up.
She said the safe
That's too much. But yeah, I'm cool about it. Me and my parents are very close. We have a very open relationship as far as talking about things. My mom, I'm a little more comfortable with just because she's a woman. I'm a woman.
Right.
My dad is I ain't trying to hear all that. But yeah, we're pretty cool as far as talking about relationships. And they've been together... I'm 25, so they've been together 26, 27 years.
Wow.
So I'm like, if I need relationship advice, I think y'all are a solid source to go to.
Yeah, that's dope.
They've been through a lot of things together. So, yeah, it doesn't really bother me.
And you got that good, relationship model to look at. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if this is for me, because my daddy didn't do that. And y'all...
Right.
And they was young when they met, so you tripping, nigga, or you know what I'm saying. You can tell your homegirls no, I don't think you should do that because that's not the way my parents did it. That's dope. I wish I had that. I ain't. So my dad was trash, but story for another podcast episode. But anyway, yeah. But your parents are creative, and then you creative. So what you been creating?
What have I been creating? I've been doing a few DIY projects. My house is currently under construction. If you go downstairs, it's completely gutted out. So I've been doing a few just DIY things that I want to add and take away just to revamp my space. When you're spending so much time at home, you're like, this is ugly, I need to change that. This is old and dirty. So just looking at all these things, I just want to change some stuff up. I recently ordered like some canvases, and I have some like paint sitting here that I got from Target. But I think I'm going to do a little bit of painting. As far as anything else creative, really just like playing the guitar is something that I've been wanting to do for a long, long time. And when they first declared the state of emergency, I went to Guitar Center, and I was like, well, if I'm going to be quarantined for the next whoever knows how long, I might as well use this time, which I'm super glad that I did, because 2 months later, I'm still in the house.
Yeah.
Besides that, I've been reading a lot. Well, I guess I've been getting creative with my cooking. I do love to cook, and the grocery store is like the only thing I can do. So I go to the grocery store and buy a bunch of stuff and just see what happens. A couple days ago, I made like this banana bread, which was pretty good.
Oh, I made bread pudding. Well, let me be clear. My roommate can cook. So I bought things and then he made it.
No, that counts.
And I helped. I cracked eggs and everything, and I watched. And
Don't let them take your credit.
I pushed down to put I pushed the bread under the liquid. Like, I was active.
Yeah. That counts.
I took it out.
You brought the groceries. You made the money to buy the groceries. So that counts.
What's one thing that you're surprised that you have kept up with?
My faith, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Just staying focused on God and understanding that, like, the promises he gives us are unwavering. Like, God says that all things will work together for the good of his people. So even this world pandemic, where it seems like it's very dark and like a lot of things are not going the way we planned, knowing that good will come out of it. I know, at least for me, I was very overwhelmed with work and with life prior to COVID. Not really depressed or stressed out, just overwhelmed, just like trying to be the best person that I can be, getting all the adult things done that I needed to get done, waking up on time, working out, making sure that I look good, making sure that I'm eating healthy and meal prepping. Like, it just was just becoming a lot. Mm-hmm. So this happened, and I was like, oh, I can take a break. Mm-hmm. Like, I can get up when I feel like it, even though now I'm kind of back on the schedule. But, like, if I want to go to sleep late and wake up early, I can do that. If I don't feel like meal prepping, it's okay. I can cook whenever. So I really appreciated that. And just staying rooted in my faith has helped a lot, because usually in prior times when my personal life is in crisis, I often, like, shy away from it. But I'm glad that I've matured, I guess, in the sense to stay grounded in that. It's really helped a lot.
Everybody has like these super deep things. I'm literally just proud of myself for waking up every day and brushing my teeth.
And that's fine.
I am surprised that I brush my teeth. I have brushed my teeth every day since I have not went to work in a month and 2 weeks. I have brushed my teeth every single day without
That is
fail.
Awesome. My brother, who's 19, he does not. I'm not sure the last time he took it. Honestly, brushing his teeth. Listen, outside of the quarantine world, I didn't know how often he did that, but I don't know the last time he took a shower. So the fact that you're keeping those daily things, be proud of that. Like, this is not a competition for anybody. Anything that you're doing that's getting done is something to be proud of.
Amen. I'm just like, I really do, but like everybody's just like, these deep things. Like, faith. I kept up with this, or like, I finished my book. And I'm just like, I brush my teeth every day.
I mean, you have a podcast. So that's something to be proud of.
It is. I mean, like, that's cool and everything, but like, I'm just like, I just brush my teeth. Like, I'm really proud of myself for brushing my teeth.
Listen, you did great. You did great. And don't let anybody tell you that you didn't. Because it's folks out here, let's be honest, y'all. It's folks out here who did not brush their teeth
That's
today.
True. That's true.
Nor shower. It's some folks who didn't even get out the bed. And listen, that's okay as well. Mm-hmm. So be proud. You brushed your teeth today.
Oh my God. And I think the last question is, in these times of quarantine and, intense self-separation, Corona Bay quarantine boo?
Oh,
outside of gym bay?
Conversation like every other day.
Because New York is different. Like y'all's level of like lockdown is completely different than everywhere else in the country. Because y'all are going through the things up there. Like y'all have all of them. All of them.
I have this conversation, like literally since this has started, every other day I've had this conversation with different people. Like those of us who are single, get comfortable because this is where you're going to stay. Like, I don't understand how dating, especially if you're not the online dating person, I don't understand how it's going to work moving forward. Either you're going to have to become that online dating person or you just going to have to get comfortable in your singleness. Like, otherwise, it's dead. And I've had a few, like, old things, like, pop back up.
Hey,
and
big
I would
head.
be lying if I said I didn't entertain them because, I mean...
You ain't got nothing else to do.
Right. I don't have shit else to do. But outside of the quarantine, I don't know how far those things are going to go. They probably aren't going to. And as far as meeting anybody new, it's just, where?
Yeah.
How? If anybody... let me know. If you have the answers, I would love to.
I ain't got shit. I've been the same boat. But like honestly, this has kept me busy. So like I haven't really thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't really been on the forefront of my mind at all. And that's usually the only time that happens. If I have something to do and focus my energies into, I don't really think about other people or sex or anything. I'm just like, yo, I need to do this. And I'm always, creating and figuring out ways to do things. And so I've just been focused on this for like the past 2 or 3 months. I hadn't even thought about it. I'm just like...
Yeah. I got to a point in like the second week in April that I was like, damn, like, this is real lonely. And it might be like this for a while. Is anybody? Hello?
You just look under your pillow.
You know what? Is anybody there?
I can't.
Did I happen to miss you? But yeah, at this point, I've just been like, you know what? It is what it is. Like, if somebody comes along, they'll come along. If not, whatever. It's not like I haven't been single for the past year, 2 years, a long time. So I don't know, but I am single. If anybody hears me, I'm single, and I'm cute. I got FaceTime, so I got Zoom and Google Hangout.
You sent me that too. Was it a Zoom link? I was like, no.
Oh, because everybody's been doing Zoom, so I'm just like, okay.
I do Zoom if somebody doesn't have an iPhone or like doesn't want to, like, or is kind of like iffy about giving out their number. Like I interviewed a couple of like, I guess I can say celebrities, like some people that were on TV and stuff. And sometimes it's like a yes, sometimes like a no. And then, especially with women, like I understand like the comfortability factor in that. Like, know, I do seem cool. I'm a cool guy, but you don't know that. And you gotta, I respect that. So it ain't no big deal. So yeah, I get it.
Or you could be a cool creep.
Facts.
That's a possibility. I've met a few myself who were cool when I met them and then turned out to be creeps.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I think I circled past something. I didn't even mean to. What the hell is it like working for Afropunk?
It's cool, or rather it was. Mm-hmm. Very different culture than anything I've experienced. Very casual, very laid back, very black as fuck in all aspects that you could think of. Yes, it's black as fuck. But the intelligence and the creativity of the people that work there was overwhelming. Like, that was the best part of my experience, were the people that worked there. So smart, so passionate about the brand and the movement and the uplifting and mobilization of Black people. Just, I love them, honestly. Like, we also keep in contact. We have a WhatsApp group that we, check on each other. How's your unemployment process going? How's yours going? They were really the best part of my experience there. And on top of like all the new music I got exposed to, all the skills, like the mentor that I have now, she has taught me so much in the little bit of time that we've known each other. It's incredible. And now she's like one of my favorite people in the world. And last year this time we didn't know each other. But like a year and a half ago, we didn't even know who each other were. So, or was, whatever. But yeah, that was the best part of working there, was the people that I met and got to interact with. I met you through working with Afropunk, you know. It was like, there's nothing else that can replace that value.
I always was like, you know what? I always said that, so I have like a quote unquote real job, but I only have that job because I said if I was going to give my time to someone, then the benefits have to greatly outweigh or match my time, because time is like the only thing it's the only exhaustible resource is time. Like you don't get that. And so I was like, if I have to work with somebody else and not contract with them, not work with them, but work for them, I was like, I think it might be something. It's either going to be like something in the travel industry or maybe something cool, like a concert venue, like something like that, where I can kind of like grow myself along with growing with the company. Like that's the only way I can see it, because I'm not suited for technical business 9 to 5 shit. I did that once. I would shoot myself in the head. Like I would literally jump off the building, like go to the top floor and jump off the building. I can't. It's too boring. Like it's too mundane. Like I ain't gonna do it. So I was like, Afropunk seems like a cool place to work. It's like
it's a cool place to work. Even like the design of the office was super cool, and the aesthetic was very on brand with everything we did. The conversations that we had there, granted, everybody there came from different backgrounds, from different parts of the world, from different experiences, but the conversations we had there always was, like, how could we make ourselves better? How can we make our community better? How can we uplift our people? And sometimes it was also like shit talking or talking about music. And it was really a good time. I can't say that it wasn't. There were, of course, like everything, times when things got a little ghetto. But all in all, it was still like one of the best job experiences that I've had. I wish it could have lasted longer than it did.
Yeah, I mean, like
once live events do open back up, I'm sure they'll be looking for people. Definitely do apply. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure they'll come back bigger and better and stronger and more structured. So it'll be even better than it was when I was there. So yeah.
When I saw like that post for like goddamn Brazil, I said, "Nigga, y'all are going to be in Salvador." Like, that's my favorite city, bro. Like, I'm going to be there. Like, I'm already have an apartment there. Psych. Psych. I'm still in Decatur. But
that was going to be huge, too. I can't, disclose the details of the things that they were working on.
I know it was going to be.
That would have been. And the Brazilian audience, they were so excited.
I text my Brazilian friends, like, nigga, I'm going to be at your house. Cool? Like, when this happens.
They were so excited. Hopefully that'll come. Just thinking about it now, I'm like, damn, that sucks. Like the lineups that were playing.
I'm sad too.
Coronavirus.
I'm sad too, yo. I'm sad too. I'm like really, really sad. I was like, no, I was gonna be there. I had plans. Sad.
Even stateside, the things that were playing. This was the 15th year anniversary. So much, damn. So many good things that would have just really, like, if you are a stand of the brand prior to, after this, there would have been nothing that wouldn't make you return, But, I don't know what they have planned, how to recoup from this. Hopefully, once we can't go back outside again, though some of those things can happen on a smaller scale. I hope so, because just the ideas that were bubbling up were just chef's kiss. So we'll see. I don't know. So whatever they do, I'll be there. Like, I don't work for them anymore, but I was a fan prior to working there. I'm still a fan afterwards. So I'll still be there if I can get it. We'll see.
You'll be fine. They're going to hire your ass back.
Everybody keeps saying
they gonna hire your ass back. Like, what you mean? Like, they gonna hire your ass back?
Everybody keeps saying that.
You in the group chat. You good. If you wasn't in the group chat, then you worry. I'm like, oh,
yeah, that's something to worry about. There are a few people who are not in the group chat.
There you go. So you good. Like, you're good. You just gotta, like I said, give it 2 years. Give it 2 years. Right. This sucks to think about, but I mean, like 2 months have kind of gone by without a blink. Like, it's already made. Like, I hadn't really thought about it. So it's like, 2 years will fly by, especially once everybody gets back in the swing of the rhythm of life again. Yeah, it's gonna go back because now everybody's gonna be trying to play catch up. Like, oh, I gotta do this. Like, nah, I'm not doing shit. I'm just like, look, I'm good. I'm gonna go at the same pace I was going before, just a little bit more structured and a little bit more targeted. But like, I'm not doing.
Yeah, catch up is not something I'm interested in doing. No. Like, oh, I gotta make up for you can never make up for lost time.
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
Yeah,
let it go.
It's gone.
As soon as you wake up the next day, you got to let that go because you're not getting that time back. But yeah, I mean, that will be great. But who knows what'll happen in this 2 years that you say we're going to be in the house.
Right.
No, I can start my own business. Who the hell knows?
Hey, why not? Do it. Call me. Call me Tyrone. Call me. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what it's going to be, but we'll see.
But all right. Miss KJ, thank you so much for taking this time to hop on the pod. I know you didn't think this was gonna happen. I thought, because I know this. This is the part that sucks about working for popping places or doing popping things. Is that people always hit you up about that. Like, no one ever asks you, like, "Hey, how you doing? So you got passes? Because it's, yeah, I already know. It's like, so so nobody ever hits you up to be like, oh, So I was like, I don't tell anybody what I do either. I don't publicize it. I'm like, if you know, you know. But I don't. So yeah, I get it. So, but yeah, thank you for hopping on the pod.
Of course, anytime. You want to do an episode 2? I'm here. I don't think I was that entertaining, but that's just who I am.
Yo,
you can't find anybody else, give me a call and I'll come back.
No, this is dope. I make it a point to talk to interesting people who do interesting things, or normal people who do interesting things, or interesting people who do normal things. Like, I just make it a point to talk to people that, you know what I'm saying, or just kind of like give a insight into worlds people may not have thought of, because my network is kind of huge, and I'm just realizing now, like, I have a pretty big ass network, so why not do something with that in a more targeted way, I guess. So yeah, it's just like, it's hit you up for a reason. Like, don't say that.
Yeah, that's awesome to have that network, which is another benefit that I got from working there.
Exactly.
Was I gained so many people, so many interesting people, intelligent, creative people that host so many different skills. I'm like, I'm definitely gonna hold on to y'all forever because
don't lose nobody's contact info. You never know what you might. Don't do that. I keep adding. I got numbers in my phone I got texts in my phone from 6 years ago.
Oh no, I delete mine. I need my storage.
I got 128 gigabytes. I got 128 gigabytes.
I never delete any numbers. I try not to change my number. I haven't actually ever changed my number. I usually just get those like phone apps because people know that they can call me if they ever need me for anything. So I've had the same number for 15 years. I got a cell phone at 10, and it was the same number.
Wow, how times are because you're 25. I'm a little older than you. I'll be forgetting about that.
I'm going to stay this age for the next year. I'll turn 25 next year when I can celebrate my birthday.
You're too young to lie about your age, bro. Like,
nope. No. Rona took my birthday. I'm just going to stay this age. I'm going to call my insurance company like, hey, so I get to stay on my parents' insurance for a year. Another 2 years, actually, because COVID,
I feel like that might actually be a thing, though. Like, dead ass. I feel like
I hope so.
It might revamp.
I'm serious
I
about
really
calling
do.
them.
I really do. I feel like it might revamp because of COVID. I really do.
I'm very serious about calling them. Like,
because again, the world fucked. The entire world. The entire whole ass world.
Everybody.
But yeah, guys, we out. Bye.
Bye.
That's it, guys. Thanks for listening. You can follow us on the Instagrams at TheOVTNetwork. And you can follow me, JC, at JC from TheOVT. Very simple, right? This podcast is available on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, and pretty much everywhere in between. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and rate us 5 stars if you were so inclined. Thank you. Quarantine Talks is a podcast that is also available on YouTube. Just type in TheOVT Network and hit subscribe for all of the latest and greatest from we at TheOVT. Lastly, we are an independent and Black-owned media network, guys. So if you enjoyed the content and you would like to drop a donation, you may do so on Cash App or the Venmo at TheOVTNetwork. All one word, TheOVTNetwork. Quarantine Talks is edited and produced by me, JC, with original music produced by Brian Haddon. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Stay safe, stay creative, and most importantly, stay sane. Find your peace, man. It's crazy out here. Laters.